And welcome back to the Sports Fix. Joining me now, a regular correspondent of ours here on the Flow Network across multiple sports, of course. It is Bruce Phillips. Big Brucey, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks, Ellis. And certainly a big weekend of sport last weekend in Speedway. And as the COVID settles down, things starting to open up a bit and getting a few more tracks open as they get towards their tail end of the season, pardon the pun. Some big races coming up this weekend as well, but some other big things been happening, Ellis.
Yeah, most certainly. As COVID gets on the back burner, it's more so the weather that we're worrying about now when it comes to all things Speedway. Now, let's get right into it, Brucey. The Cotton Bowl Speedway across the weekend, a very significant event regarding a certain Aussie James McFadden.
Yeah, it was a big meeting over there in America to Texas, where James McFadden got fired up over there, and he got on the podium for a third place. So fantastic for James and the team out of Warrnambool, Victoria, and normally drives the Monty Motorsport W17 out of Western Australia, but of course contract driving over in America. And just a remarkable thing, to fly over there and to get the chocolates on the podium is just a great confidence booster for J-Mac. And he's just, he came over here and won back over here for a short, brief time in the Classic, and had about 6 meetings, of which about 5 of them he got the checkered flag. So he's just in sensational form, and he's gone back over there and carried it on. And a great win for J-Mac.
There we go. And the action continued with Jock Goodyear. He's been announced as a new pilot for the Monty Motorsport team. So this is happening over in Perth. So talk to us more about what's going on here, Brucey.
Oh, this is fantastic for Jockey Goodyear out of Tasmania in the T22. He normally drives, and to get one of these contracts, it's only sort of for the month of March, a bit of April for the remainder of the season, about 4 weeks. But to get a gig with Monty Motorsport, filling in there for James McFadden is just icing on the cake. And Jock's been racing up in Queensland quite a bit this year at Toowoomba and Archerfield, and to get this contract would mean everything to the young lad. He's just had a great season, couple of wins up there, feature wins, and to be announced as the pilot for Monty Motorsport is just an outstanding feather in his cap, and he'll be racing over there at the Perth Motorplex, Western Australia. Fly over there and jump into the W17, and he really has had a great season, and I'm sure he will sit in that car and ride it to very successful and safety and success, as they say. But so good luck to Jock Goodyear. That is a real big announcement, and I'm sure he'll do well.
Most certainly, we all hope he will. Now, Brucey, talk to us about what else we should know about the fallout from the weekend's races.
Oh, the weekend had some good racing. There was a couple of meetings that were cancelled with weather, but it was Carrick Speedway down there. They had the Abode Designer Homes title, a big title down there at Carrick. Nice little racy track down there at Tassie. And it was Adam Alexander in the T16 getting the feature win from Jack Crossan in the T53 and Scott Bissett in the T2. Of course, down there at Tasmania, pretty much all Tasmanian contenders. But it's a little light on because guys like Jock Goodyear and Tate Frost have been over on the mainland, and Timmy Hutchins as well. It was a good meeting there, and Alexander got a heat race win, and that put him in good stead for the feature, which he got the checkered flag. So it was a very good effort by Adam Alexander. There was also racing at Murray Bridge last weekend, mate. So we'll have a look at that. We had some magnificent wingless Australian title, and it ended in controversy, and not for racing problems, but with the precipitation of the weather, and it wasn't really heavy rain. It was just 3 scud showers that ruined the night, and it was such a shame because it was set for a big final feature. Let's have a look at what else was racing. They had the late models, Callum Harper in the T22. How good is this bloke? He just drives this thing like you wouldn't believe, and he got the victory lane, and he's just an absolute gun, Callum Harper out of Tassie. and he got the victory from Chevy Edwards in the V21 and Michael Holmes in the W91. Good effort by Holmesy coming over from the west. Interestingly there, our best South Australian was Fiona Verhoeven, the lady driver in the S8, and pretty sad that these other states come over and get the victory on our soil, but nothing we can do about it. Pretty hard to beat Callum Harper. He is in sensational form. Let's have a look at, he was set up there with some good heat race wins in Heat 5 and Heat 8, which got him the feature on pole and took it out. Other races there was the big wingless title, and look, it was wrapping up on Saturday night with the C1 finish of Atkins, Sloan, James, McKinns and Irons. Jamie McKinn's coming down from the NT. Then you threw in the C2 feature, Haitley, Curvers, Morrow, Moore and McCarthy. That led them to the B1, which was, because so many cars, they had two C mains and two B mains. Heinrich, McCarthy, James and Fox got the B1, and the B2 was Heinrich, Kennedy, Ross and Crouch and Martin. That's how they lined up there on the finish line. But sadly, the night was called off when some precipitation came in, made things too wet and slippery. They tried to get it going again, but some more rain, and it really did stuff up the night. They were trying to run it on the Sunday, but unfortunately they couldn't get, they were going to just run that A main on the Sunday, but they couldn't get any ambulance. Of course, with Speedway, there must be an ambulance present to race, and they couldn't get an ambulance, so that was unfortunate and couldn't obviously race. So that wrapped up last weekend. The winner of the best car was, now who was that got the best car? I just haven't got that in front of me. So it was a great weekend at Murray Bridge. Many cars, they're just about out over the fences. There were so many vehicles, and a good night of good fair racing, and it was just a shame at the end of the night that they couldn't run the feature.
Most definitely. Well, that's a wrap of the weekend Speedway sprint cars. Bruce Phillips, great to have you on as always. You take care of yourself.
Thanks for talking to us, Ellis.
Still to come, our very own Ricky Lambert here on The Flow. He'll be closing out the hour. Stay tuned for that one. But up next, it's a former A-League goalkeeper previewing 3 games going on this evening. Make sure you stick around right on the other side of this.